Mm. Yeah, I'm good, man. Of course, hey, you see today on Sky Sports, which I call slow sports news, anyways. Only a week ago, they were saying that Sheikh Jassim Al Thani wasn't gonna bid anything above what he's bidding right now, and then today is a different story saying he will do whatever it can to purchase Man United. He had I don't know, I think he had like a 5, 6, 7 hour meeting there, and Jim Ratcliffe had like 2 hours. Tells you everything you need to know, man. When it comes to Arabs, you already know, Mo, they don't lose. They want to win and take everything they are. They own a lot of stuff. But I'm feeling Qatari today. I feel good. I feel better than Arsenal fans. You know, the narrative, Mo, has gone from going at the League Cup. Yeah, we're focusing on the Europa League and the league anyways. The FA Cup's always, yeah, that's our trophy. Go out the FA Cup. Yeah, we're focusing on Europa League and the league. Then next, you go out the Europa League, and Arsenal fans say, "Yeah, we're here just to focus on the league, anyways." And what happens when they don't win the league? If they don't, basically, I still think they will. But if they don't, what are they gonna say? Oh, it wasn't our main objective.
Yeah, I was on mute. Somehow the mic was not on mute, but OBS did not catch up my sound. But thank you everybody for telling me. You guys can hear me now. So I don't know. Some people could, some people couldn't. But anyway, Qatari take over just anybody but the Glazers, to be honest. I'm happy about my draw in the Champions League. It cannot get easier than this.
Hey, you got lucky. You got so lucky.
We're all lucky in the Champions League. Dude, you look... yeah, man.
Yeah, but look. Man City have got Bayern Munich. That's probably someone that Daps don't want, or any Man City fans want. They got a hard route to get to the final. So if they win it, they will deserve it. You know, I don't think Inter Milan have a chance. I think everyone else in that competition has a chance.
Actually, we are above Chelsea and above AC Milan, which is.
But I think Napoli smack AC. They go through, and if you get you, then
no, that's the problem. The problem is we are the ones that beat Napoli this season. Italians against Italians is just different story because it's a two-legged game. It's not like a one game. Like Bayern against Man City, I would pick Man City, but because it's a two-legged game, I'm like, it's a 50-50. Real Madrid against Chelsea, would you comfortably say Real Madrid are going to knock out Chelsea? No.
Yes, you cannot. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. You know, it is. I think even though Chelsea were good against Dortmund, this is Real Madrid's competition. Yeah, see Real Madrid, they'll go to Chelsea. I think even Chelsea may get a 1-0 win, but the way it's a bit, they need to pick up form now if they want to stand a chance. Because see that Bernabeu fixture, the way they dismantled Liverpool, where they could have went 5-0 up, 5-2 up again. Look, that's going to be the same case with Chelsea, I reckon. Potentially, not as bad though. But nah, man. You know what? I won't count Chelsea out. I'm not. You're right. You know what, Mo? You're right. I can't count Chelsea out. You're actually right.
It's impossible to say that.
Like, yeah. You're right.
Actually,
you're
at this point of the competition, it's anybody's game. Real Madrid were not favorites in any of the games that they played last season. Any game, anytime. PSG, Chelsea, Man City, and Liverpool. They were not favorites. They are favorites because of the heritage, but on the pitch, they weren't favorites. But anyway, before Daps gets here, let's talk about a little bit about. Let's start with Arsenal. Or you want to wait for Daps? Let's talk about Man United.
You want to talk about Man United? You want to get that out of the way? That's calm. I don't mind.
Let's get that out of the way. Man United, Fulham, no Casemiro. That's team played okay against Real Betis. A lot of people were not happy with the performance, but you got
it was an open game. I really enjoyed the performance. I can't lie. It was about time it was open. It was anyone's game, and we still came out with a clean sheet with Harry Maguire. Come on, man. Harry Maguire. Casemiro was very good. He got an assist as well. Registered his 6th one. Going to be a big miss, but again, if you're telling me that Man United can't beat the likes of Everton, Brentford, and Fulham at home without a Casemiro, it says a lot about your team.
Yeah,
You get what I'm
100%.
saying?
Yeah, of course.
Like I get the blip happened at Leeds, but then he fixed up. Sabitza's there. Eriksen's going to be back, by the way, for
Oof.
Newcastle,
Happy for
which is
that guy.
massive. You know, I think the break couldn't come at an easier time for us because it's like let's get past Fulham because we look leggy, man. We look very leggy, look tired. Bruno Fernandes is bullshit that he can play all these games and not look tired. I can see he's mentally fucked. For me personally, like
Yeah, he needs a
if you get what I
break.
mean,
Definitely,
he
he
needs a
needs a break.
break and
100%.
just get past his
Rashford.
fixture. Yeah, Rashford needs a break.
Oh yeah.
Played too many games. He won't really start for England. I highly doubt. Anyways, he might get one game, but out of two. But that's it. I can't see it happening. Southgate's clueless. He'll just play Foden and Saka probably more than likely. So,
So
but
you are on
with
the
Man
way
United,
of
I'm in a great position right now. Look, we got Sevilla. Sevilla again, another Spanish opposition that we have to deal with, the fourth one this season. So on that note, we go get Sevilla. This time I think they go out. They're not really great. They just about got past Fenerbahce. I won't count them out. It is slightly their competent, but this Sevilla team is not the Sevillas that we know of in the past. They don't have your Ben Yedders, you know, they don't have Rakitic anymore, really. That's up and like that's the baller that we know. The defense, they lost obviously my man that went to Aston Villa and got an unfortunate injury. Can't remember his name now. Diogo something. Diogo Carlos.
yeah.
Kunde's not there no more. They've lost out on that. It should we should go to the next round, but then we might have Sporting and Juve. I live for these games. I don't even care about the easy route. We need to beat these teams because the other route looks kind of easier. I get it. AS Roma's there, but I'm not scared of no Jose Mourinho's side. Man United's in a good place right now. We're good.
You
We're all right.
aren't on that. You aren't on the way of Roma, bro. You only faced Roma in the final. I think you are on the way of Juventus. Juventus and Sporting Lisbon.
Juventus and Sporting. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Sporting and Juventus don't
Yeah.
worry me personally. They just don't. I mean, Sporting do with their football. They do. They can do. But just because they beat Arsenal on penalties doesn't mean I need to be worried. Arsenal, if they played a stronger team like the other guys and that, they would have slapped them.
Yeah, 100. Yeah, maybe again. It's all assumptions. These are all assumptions. We're saying if they played, if they did, if they didn't. But I said it many times about Arsenal. They absolutely should not have played Saliba. He should have been rested from the beginning. Now he's injured. I don't know the extension of his injury. People in the chat, let me know the extension of his injuries. But listen, we need to hit that like button. You guys need to give me at least up to 50 likes. Please hit that like button. It's free. It doesn't cost you a penny. If you haven't, make sure it looks like this. It's free for Cass's beautiful camera that he has now on him. Look at how beautiful he is now on the screen. Man United, you are not on the route of... Is there another draw after this? Or it's already decided on the FA Cup?
No,
for the FA Cup. FA Cup.
Oh, the FA Cup, no. The draw will be on Sunday. I'm going to guess on Sunday.
So there is another draw for the FA Cup.
Yeah, there will be another draw for the FA Cup, yeah, to see who gets who in the semi-finals. It could be Blackburn, it could be Sheffield, it could be Grimsby, it could be Brighton, or it could be Man City or Burnley with Man United or Fulham. So we don't know.
You don't want to avoid anybody. You want to face for whoever. Is there a one game? It's Wembley, right? It's one game at that time. It's Wembley. It's the semi-final.
Yeah, semi-final can't be it can't be two. I don't think it's two legs, is it?
No, but it's Wembley. Is it? Like I want to check that because I
remember the finals Wembley. FA Cup semi-finals. Is it two legs?
Yeah, that's what I want to check. Yeah, but anyway, guys.
No, there's not two legs in the FA Cup. No, there's not. No, there's not. Of course not. In the quarter, there won't be two legs. Of course not, because it's the quarterfinals now. There's no two legs. Why would there be two legs in?
I think it's the semi-final. It's either two legs or in Wembley. I think so. It's not on someone home or away. But anyway, Man United. Sabitza's gonna play now. Fred or McTominay, Bruno. You like Bruno and Sancho behind Weghorst or something, but a lot of people need rest. But Palestri, Anthony was rested in that game. You're comfortable in that game. I'm picking Man United to win this game.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter
if no
Casemiro.
I got a feeling it'll be a shit performance, but we should be able to deal with Fulham. Like, the only thing I think it'll be hard to break them down through the middle because of Polina. And that's so we just got to do what you saw with Arsenal, right? Get down their flanks. Anthony Robinson and who's the other guy? Anthony Robinson, and on the other side is the right back Babu or so, or Tete.
Tete.
Yeah. Their fullbacks are good attacking, but when it comes to defensive, they are quite shit. And I think that's where Man United exploit most teams. Is literally down the wings these days, anyways.
Yeah.
I got a feeling Man United should pull this one out of the bag, but can't discount it, man. FA Cup magic and all that stuff, it does exist. You know, never say never, but I can't see us losing, man. Above, it's going to be a shit performance, guaranteed. 100% it's going to be an awful one. And somehow Rashford will get a goal, Bruno might, and then whatever, innit? And then life moves on.
Hello,
That's the way I
Daps.
think.
How are you?
I'm all right. I'm just looking at my camera thinking it looks absolutely shite. And I don't know why. I rebooted my machine, and that's what happens when I guess you reboot your machine.
Anyway, you look okay. No, it's not bad.
Yeah, okay. From Mo says you look okay. Bro, do I want to look okay? Am I used to looking okay? Is okay a standard that we like to go by?
No.
Yes.
No, I mean, look,
Great.
I was on my
we want to be. We want to look great.
Okay.
We want to look great.
I don't look great, bro. Don't lie to me ever.
You don't look great now. You look okay. I just said that.
So
let me. We're talking about that.
Hi guys, happy Friday, everyone. It's Friday. It's a good day.
We're talking about the FA Cup, but it's only fair enough to talk about the draw and get your thoughts on the Champions League draw. Bayern Munich.
What's your thoughts, Mr. Mo?
I'm lucky as fuck. What are you on? Lucky as fuck.
I'm going to send you the link for the City show earlier because, like, we all had to pick, and mine was like, I think I was pretty vocal that really and truly I wanted one of the
Milan clubs. Yeah, you wanted to get a trip to San Siro.
Yeah, not just that, but if we're being real, bro, like them two or Benfica. But people keep telling me you don't want Benfica because of the way Benfica play. But I'm not mad at Benfica neither. And I was really pushing for. We've never played Inter apparently as well in the Champions League.
No, I don't think you did.
No, so
I don't think you did.
You know what? As far as the draw we actually got, right? I didn't want Napoli and I didn't want Real Madrid, right? Bayern is probably the third team. Like, I didn't want Chelsea just because going to Stamford Bridge for a fucking Champions League away night just seems shit, right? But with Bayern, and before the draw happened, one thing I said is that, right, being completely honest as a City fan, right, City and Arsenal, both of us have very similar European experiences. We've both got one European trophy, yeah? And I said this to Robbie and his head went completely. But it is a fact, right? And I've said, if Arsenal play Man United in the league, I think Arsenal win 4 times out of 4 or 3 times out of 4, whatever. But in Europe, I think if Arsenal drew Man United beat them, yeah? For me. And that's because I remember the conversation with Cass about 6 months ago where I said, if you lot get in the Champions League, you'll think you can win it next year. It's like, yeah, why can't we? And it's true, because in my lifetime, Chelsea have won the Champions League twice when they really haven't been that good in the league. Liverpool have done it multiple times, right? They just know how to do it. Arsenal and City don't know how to do it yet. We haven't had enough big moments. Now, every year we have more big moments. Like, I remember the season we got to the final, playing Dortmund at the Etihad and winning. That was a big night. Playing PSG at the Etihad and winning. That was a big night. You need big moments in the Champions League as a fan base to start to believe more and more and more. So Steve wanted Real Madrid next round. I was like, we're not there yet. I think if we could have one more big night just to get us up for it, right? And I think Bayern's the perfect type of club to give us belief. Like, if we go and beat Bayern over 2 legs, then me personally, because I rate Bayern's heritage in the Champions League, if we can beat Bayern over 2 legs, then I'm going to look at that semi-final, and here's the key with the semi-final. The second leg is at the Etihad, not at the Bernabeu. Now, people talk about the Bernabeu, and it's true, right? I was there last season. Second legs at the Bernabeu, it's long. It is true. Second legs at Anfield usually are long. Like, again, we've seen what's happened at Anfield over the years, yeah, in the Champions League. But if you really look at it, the Etihad in the Champions League, our record at the Etihad, it is a fortress. It is a fortress. Like, you look at the games over the years, the last time we lost at the Etihad, I believe, was Liverpool
in Europe,
2017.
Yeah,
in Europe.
Yeah, but forget the semi-final. Let's talk about the quarter-final.
No, Mo. The reason why I'm not forgetting the semi-final is because
you're not past Bayern yet.
No, but Mo, listen to me. Let me finish. Here's the thing, right? If Manchester City go out to Bayern in the next round, or we get to the final and lose to Napoli. Same outcome. Man City have bottled it again. Yeah. So I will look at who we have in the semi-final, and I will look at. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we're going to batter Bayern, but what I'm saying is, if we beat Bayern, we now can look at the semi-final and say, you know what? Go to Real Madrid. Even if we go to Real Madrid and come back 2-1 down at the Etihad, I back us to score more than Real Madrid. Right? I back us to beat them at the Etihad. So now we can start looking at it and already going into this game thinking we get Dortmund done. And we're in that final.
Probably. Okay, about the FA Cup, probably. We need to have like a whole Champions League thing. We talk about the odds and everybody.
Who did you even get again? Did you get
Benfica?
I think Benfica beat Inter Milan.
Benfica are more a favorite, like in this game, it's a 60-40 or a 70-30. They are a better team than us. But again, we have more experience than them in the Champions League. Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah. And it's San Siro is not easy. That's about it, which is how we beat Porto, is that we have more experience and some of our players are more experienced.
I always say, you want these teams that have, like, Cass, I'm sure Cass will agree. Like right now, I personally were Arsenal favourites before last night, by the way.
Yes, they were. Of
course.
But this is Cass. Now, Cass, you can understand. I'm going to shut that door because I'm getting an echo, I think. But Cass, I think you can understand, when I always say I don't understand why Man City are favourites in the Champions League. And people say, oh, it's because of this and that. I'm like, but we've never won one. So to make us favourites, I think it's a bit naive of bookies, right? Same with when you look at, like, in the Europa League. If I'm looking at Arsenal, I'm looking at Juventus, I'm looking at Man United. I'm forgetting everyone else, even Roma, because Roma have won it, to be fair. But again, with Arsenal in Europe, their record in Europe just really isn't that good. Like, and by the way, don't see this as me boasting about City reaching semi-finals, but we have reached more Champions League semi-finals than Arsenal, right? And Arsenal fans, me and Robbie had this out on DR Sport the other day, and Robbie was saying, yeah, but with your manager, but for years, Arsenal fans have told us that Arsene Wenger is one of the best managers of all time. So therefore, you can't say with Pep we should have won it. With Wenger, you should have won it. Then he said, yeah, but with the money. Okay, no problem. You use money to buy good players. Arsenal fans have been telling us for years that Henry, Bergkamp, Vieira, Overmars, the list goes on, were all the best players in Premier League history. So ultimately, it's the same for Arsenal as it is City. Both of us maybe have underachieved a little bit in Europe, but
no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Daps, sorry. You didn't. You did not underachieve. You only have been in the Champions League for 10 years. You did not underachieve. I'm sorry. No, this is going.
You know what though? Yeah, you know what?
Cass, be honest, Cass. Did they underachieve? 10 years in the Champions League, reaching about 4 semi-finals and 1 final. Is that underachievement?
There's no achievement until you actually win the fucking.
No,
but
what I mean is that
I want to reel back. Let me reel back a little bit.
Come on.
What Arsenal? What Daps said there about Arsenal? They've had all these fucking amazing players. They big up so much, and they reached only 1 Champions League final, bro.
And that's the truth.
It's true, though.
And this is the thing. But then they want to say that we've underachieved. And the reason why the whole conversation started is that they were pressing me to say that Pep was a failure if we didn't win the Champions League this season. And I said, I'm sorry, I'm never going to say Pep's a failure. Then they couldn't believe it. They didn't like my answer, and they were saying you haven't answered the question. I was saying I have. You just don't like my answer. But I'm not going to say that. Where I was actually going with this, Cass, is as a Man United fan in Europe, in the Europa League, who would you rather face in the final, Juventus or Arsenal?
Arsenal.
Exactly, because Juventus, no matter what, they know how to do it in Europe.
Yeah, for me, obviously, look, Man City have flopped and underachieved in Europe, obviously because of investment and that like that. But in the same aspect, they've only been in the Champions League for 10 years or 11 years.
Yeah.
So if you kind of think of that logic, there's pros and cons. But Arsenal, with Arsenal, if you want to compare with Arsenal, back to that's what I was going to say. 19 years and 1 final is not good enough. And I would give it to Arsenal fans pause in terms of saying they got fucking robbed. They did get robbed by the referee. They 100% did. So I can't deny that.
This is cup games for you. That's what happens in cup games. Decisions go against you, and but. And do you know what? I'm not even trying to slander Arsenal. This is because Arsenal fans were trying to come at me about Manchester City in Europe. And I always say it. I know my club, right? And if a Liverpool fan wants to talk to me about Europe, an Arsenal fan wants to talk to me about, sorry, a Man United fan wants to talk to me about Europe, even if a Chelsea fan, right? Because Chelsea have won 2 in 10 years. But when Arsenal fans want to try and come at me about Europe, it's like, nah.
You can't.
This is like Tottenham trying to come at you about trophies in England. It can't, like.
Tottenham have more pedigree in Europe than Arsenal, by the way.
Oh, I don't know about that, bro.
No, they do. They do. They have one more trophy. They have more pedigree.
Yeah,
Right, they
having
won
one
two.
more trophy.
Yes, they won. They
doesn't
won
mean
2
you have
Europa Leagues,
more.
and I think Arsenal have only won none or one.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
None or one, something like that. The old cups and stuff like that. So you're technically Tottenham back in the 70s, 80s, like roughly. Tottenham are a very good team. But other than that, it's just like yesterday on Shoots TV, like he kept going back to Monts, like he kept deflecting. How many league titles have you won, bro? That's what I was doing when we lost 7-0, innit? And I was like, Shoots couldn't say nothing to me. He couldn't say shit.
But
You're gonna say nothing.
This is the thing, though, Cass. This is the thing, right? That I actually started off saying to Robbie, like, I feel like Arsenal and City are very similar in that when I look at Arsenal this season, they look like a team that know how to do it in domestically, right?
Yeah.
But when I've seen them in, and I said this before the game, when I see them in Europe, I'm like, there's something missing. And that's how it's felt as a City fan. Being honest, as a City fan, it's always felt like there's this. And that's why this year I look at it and think, right, like last season, remember when we played Real Madrid in the home leg and everyone said that we didn't make a big enough gap, right? So that's why I look at the game against Leipzig. I think, do you know what? Beating Leipzig in the last 16, I'm not trying to scream that is a fucking, oh my God, Man City beat Leipzig, right, in the last 16. I'm not saying that's a massive night, but what it is a statement that we've learned from last season, and maybe the fact that we didn't have a killer that will, because I always remember this Atletico fan outside a kebab shop in Madrid saying to me, first leg, 1 goal is not enough, 2 goals not enough. You keep putting nails in that coffin because Real Madrid at the Bernabeu is a different monster and they can come alive out of nowhere, right? Now, what Man City have learned is we need to be killers, right? In the Champions League, when we come against teams like Real Madrid, we're going to have to be killers. We need someone that won't be happy with a 2-1 win or a 3-1 win, wants to keep scoring and keep scoring and keep scoring. And what we've shown so far with Haaland is that maybe we've got the exact reason we got him for.
Yeah,
I don't think they prioritize the competition.
I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you a question, Daps. Obviously, I want to talk about weekends. Since we're on the Arsenal Man City topic, now you're going to go into the FA Cup. Are you going to be one of those that say, we're not going to be prioritizing FA Cup kind of stuff? Are you going to say, I want to win it as well?
It's international break.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you go into a semi-final, no, on the weekend.
Firstly,
do you want to win it? Are you like, I want to win it?
And if we don't win the league, and if we don't win the Champions League, it's not going to make our season good. But at least we can go, fucking hell, well, at least we got something. Right? But secondly, this is very similar to when we played Arsenal before we played them in the league. Remember when we played them in the last round? No, 2 rounds ago in the FA Cup. And I didn't understand why Arteta rotated, because there was a 7-day break, right? It's now the international break. And quite frankly, I could not give a flying fuck if any of our players go and link up with their international team a bit tired, right? I do expect to see a strong team. Now, might Haaland be rested? He might, just because of the fact that we've got to keep Alvarez happy. Yeah. So, but I don't expect to see like the only reason why you might see some fringe players is because with the running we've got, you might want to get them up to pace a little bit. But look, we can't do like we did against Southampton, because last time we did that, we got knocked out of a cup. And, bro, do I want to be knocked out of any cup? Do I want to lose any game? No. Just no. Like, I didn't go Wembley last year, so I'd quite like to go Wembley as well.
Oh, yeah, if you get into a semi-final, there's a chance to go into a semi-final Wembley. It doesn't have to be the final if you get there or not. You should beat Burnley though. They can't play Maatsen or that other geezer.
It's a hard one in it though.
Yeah. Maatsen's so sick.
Does Pep?
Is he gonna give it to? Because he's gonna give it to company. Like, I'm gonna give you a chance.
You want to prove the younger. Like, you know when you've got a younger, and they decide they want to like kind of like give you a little jab, and then you're like, I need to remind this younger, of the hierarchy. But at the same time, I don't want to embarrass him and knock his confidence in front of everyone, right? So you don't want to like put him on the floor, rub his face in the mud, flush his head down the toilet or nothing. And it's one of them ones where, how does Pep approach this? Like, because he's said he expects Vinny to be Man City manager one day. I want us to win, but even as a City fan, I don't want to see Vincent Kompany embarrassed. I don't.
You really care about that? You really care about
that?
Oh,
I care about Vincent Kompany more than you could ever imagine.
Oh.
More than you can believe.
When Inter played like a lot of
Vincent Kompany reminds me of every single football memory I have with my dad. So like
but for me, like when we play like Stankovic in the league or Thiago Motta, they won treble with us. We're like, okay, just I'm gonna smash you.
Bro,
not really.
I want to win, 100% want to win, and I don't want to go there and see 1-0. I want to see a lot of goals. I'm kind of pissed off I didn't go to Leipzig in midweek now. So, but I just don't want to see Vinny embarrassed. If you get what I mean.
Well, here's something that's
save that for fucking Cancelo. Embarrass him.
Well, let's talk about something that might be a little bit more embarrassing other than City, which is the Arsenal thing. Look, I want to talk about the Arsenal versus Sporting game, but then I want to also touch on a little bit about Patrick Vieira getting sacked as well, and the fact that Arsenal haven't beat Crystal Palace at their own gaff in about 4 years is a thing, right? They have got ballers. They do like they can do something. But
new manager bounce.
Please, can we talk about that goal? Can we talk about that flipping Ramsdale getting put in the burrito? Like he got absolutely packed in. That goal was so good.
How similar it was to Naeem's.
Naeem, 1995.
Bro, and do you know what? I thought, by the way, I put the Naeem goal on my Twitter because I thought that was like nearly 30 years ago. There is no way I'm going to get copyright infringement for this. I did. So listen, it teaches everyone, watch what you put on social media, on Twitter, yeah, because it goes back a lot further. But now, do you know what? Right, so a few people have been saying Arsenal were really bad.
No, in the first half they were really good.
Really bad yesterday. I thought they were all right.
In the first half they were really good, and then Sporting were exceptionally even better in the second half. They came up, and then really and truly, Arsenal could have got the winner in extra time. They should.
Extra time, Arsenal were all over them.
That Agate, the young, I think is he Argentine or he's from South America? Agate, he is so good. 21 years of age as well. I can't believe I wouldn't say I never watched him. It's like my 4th time watching him. I've never seen like a performance from him like that. That was different gravy. We're talking against the top. Like it wasn't a shit Arsenal side. Saka didn't do shit. He looked tired. To be fair, Martinelli I feel sorry for him slightly in a way. I feel like he was the only one that was really trying. As soon as Jesus came off, that was it.
Well, do you know what? Yesterday, I feel like when it got to maybe the last 15 minutes in particular, right, of extra time, maybe throughout the game a little bit as well. You've got to remember this Sporting team, yeah. They play in the Champions League, right? They don't start in the Europa League, right? They're one of the best teams in their country, right? And we played them last year. Second leg at our place was 0-0. So they do have standards, firstly. Yeah.
Play some amazing football.
They do have expectations. So when Sporting got dropped, any team that plays in the Champions League and gets dropped into the Europa League, yeah, has to have a little bit of why can't we win this? Why can't we win this? Yeah, we were in the Champions League. Why can we not drop to the Europa League and win it? So I'm not saying Sporting think they're going to win it, but they can't be going into it thinking a team that started in this league, the Europa League, Arsenal, that we should be going there fearing them because we started off in the Champions League. These lot started here, so
that's how I feel as well. We beat Barcelona, like you know what I mean. We just beat we just beat Real Betis as well, who are doing quite decent.
I just felt in the last 15 minutes in particular, they knew what to do. Like when Arsenal, and some might say it's the shit side of football, but when Arsenal tried to counter, they couldn't give a shit about holding a card. They were bringing a player down, right? It was that simple, like because they know we've got 5 minutes to hold on, right? This team will be able to hold on. It doesn't matter. I ain't taking no penalties. I'll take a card.
Even Ugarte getting sent off in the end. Was it 2 yellow cards?
It was 2 yellow cards.
2 yellows.
Yeah, so he comes out for the next leg, and then Morita comes back in. It's a like for like. Do you get what I mean?
And bro, he
they
was
got
never
such
going
a
to take
sick
the penalty,
team.
was he? So
he's got such a good team.
I said that to Daps before about Man City, and I'm gonna say that about Arsenal. I have a completely different opinion than anybody that says Arsenal bottle it. Let me just finish. I think it's exactly, they drew 1-1 against one of the teams that dropped from the Champions League. They slapped Tottenham, if you remember, 2-0 with like embarrassed Spurs. And I think Arsenal, we are actually just saying that because Arsenal are top of the league in the Premier League, but the Premier League is completely different than playing in Europe. It's a two-legged game.
100%.
It's a completely knockout. If the league is similar to the Champions League, Carlo Ancelotti would have been the best manager in the history, but playing knockout phases, like Jurgen Klopp reached 3 finals of the Champions League, but he won the league only once. And apparently he had one of the best teams. I don't think Arsenal bottled it. I think Arsenal didn't care enough about it. He played the likes of Reece Nelson. Saliba played and then got injured, got out. That's what I said. Now they're feeling the fatigue, playing Thursday, Sunday, Thursday again. That's the fatigue.
I'm not trying to hear that though, man.
No, just hear me out.
We talk about top teams. Go
ahead.
No, you can't say that. It's normally Cass. So
go ahead. Let me just hear Cass's injury. Let me hear Cass's argument.
Yeah, I want to hear what Daps has to say, and I'll counter it.
The fact is, that right. So I know a couple of games ago, but let's say since the World Cup, I'm pretty certain Man United have played maybe 22 games.
Something the most in Europe.
City have played about 20, and Arsenal have played about 14. Right. So that is like the fatigue thing. I do get it, but fatigue is also mental fatigue, right? It is mental fatigue. I'm not saying they're bottle jobs. Listen,
I am.
This bottle job thing gets thrown about too much. The other day, I got told that City were a bottle job for losing to Real Madrid, right, in the semi-final. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but Real Madrid in the Champions League, that's not a bottle job.
But can I counter that, Daps? Can I just ask you something? The difference is you were better for about 170 minutes out of the 180 minutes. That's my problem with Man City is that you kind of drop deep, allowed them to put a lot of crosses, and they came back in the last 10 minutes of that second leg. And that's my biggest problem. But I'm not saying you're a bottle job. When you go out in the small details, it's different than being outplayed for the whole game. When you are, like, if you got outplayed from Leipzig, yes. But if you get outplayed 100%. By Real Madrid or by Munich, it's a 50-50 game. These are top teams as well. I'm saying, bro,
the perfect example with City is Real Madrid in the semi-final, right? And people said, yeah, but they came from behind. But they did it against PSG. They did it against Chelsea. That's what Real Madrid do in the Champions League at the Bernabeu, right? So I'm not having that as a bottle job. But I fully am saying the Chelsea team, in the Champions League final that we lost, for me, that was a bit of a bottle job because that Chelsea team really wasn't great. That good.
Yeah, wasn't great.
I'm going to flip it. Arsenal bottle yesterday. Let me tell you right. They haven't got no European feet, right? And if there's something where they don't win the league, what are they going to go back upon? No Europa League, no FA Cup. Yes, they have had a couple FA Cups. Look. You see the Arsenal fan even in the chat saying, "Oh, we don't care about this. This is Arsenal." What do you mean this is Arsenal? You've won only a couple FA Cups in the last 10 years, bro. It's that real. For me, you can't. You know.
Let him finish.
Do you know the answer to that though? The answer to whoever said this is Arsenal, and I get it. But that's like me coming on it and saying
this is Tottenham when you're back in the 1960s.
No, it's like me saying I don't care about Europe because this is City. But the fact of the matter is, Arsenal and Arsenal fans, is that although you want to win the league, you've been very proud to tell us about your European heritage, about how much you get into Europe. Now, if that means so much and you're not like Tottenham, you get into Europe to win it. Now, this season, even if you don't win the league, you will get into the Champions League next season, right? Now, if you get into the Champions League knowing you won the Europa League the season before, do you know what that does for your players' mentality in Europe, right? Because I always look back at City's time in the Europa League and slightly wish we took it a bit more serious. Because I think if we would have maybe won a Europa League, then we would have gone into the Champions League with a lot more know-how, a lot more confidence about playing abroad. Because this time round with Arsenal, go back to your golden era. Your golden era, you never won anything in Europe, right? Now, everyone says that Pep's era at Manchester City is great, but if he doesn't win the Champions League, there's always going to be a blemish. So Arsenal fans, this time, because I think you're coming back to a golden era, right? Do you not also want to do it in Europe? And I'm sure you do. So you can't say this is Arsenal, we're cool with domestic, because I get gunned for saying that.
Yeah. But let me ask you something. Cass, I want to ask you something. Is every loss a bottle jump? Is every loss?
I think I know it's the manner, because the manner they lost yesterday. Look, the goal's the goal, man. You can't take that away. But you took a weaker side and played. Remember, we was talking about last week about was it Thursday? Was it or Wednesday? Where we was talking about this could. I said what did I say? This could backfire on Arteta playing a weaker side, your Kivia and all that kind of stuff, you know. They should go for this one. Don't underestimate Sporting, did I not? And I said, wait till next week and I'll come back and I'll see if I'm right. Clearly, I was right. Because he should have played for a stronger team against Sporting away. And so when you're at home, you're a bit more comfortable and the player's a little bit more comfortable. Arsenal fans have big yesterday. This is why it is. It's not the Arsenal as a football club, it's the Arsenal fans. Now, Arsenal fans have bigged up their squad differently and massively. Oh, we've got Jorginho. I really like him now. We've got this team. Reece Nelson, man, look what he's doing. That's mentality. This is that. I'm not gonna say Arsenal have had a failure, because they haven't. They're still top of the league at the moment. But there's always that. But if they don't win it, I'm sorry, it's a failure of a season. Can't just say, objective change from winning the league when you've been claiming it for the last few months. You've got this player, that player, this player. We've got Ben White, best two centre backs in flipping Europe, and this, that, and the other. Zinchenko, all that kind of shit, and just to go out to Sporting. This is on Arteta, unfortunately. And I said it last week. And people that says I don't care about Europa, that's a fucking lie.
So maybe he doesn't care, Cass. Maybe he doesn't care.
No. I think he does care. I think Arteta just expected or overrated his squad more than he should do. You know, I think it was just a bit of naivety. But the thing is, the only thing I'll give credit for Arteta, he will learn from this.
And he will 100%.
Because now you can't say with that squad, if you're going in the Champions League, what happens when you go out next year in the Champions League if you get knocked out with that squad or an even better squad? Oh, we didn't want it. We are focusing on another sit. Don't give me that shit, because he was only talking about tired stuff back in November, saying Saka has to play through this and play many games and this, that, and the other. You've had the least games to go through out of the top 6 sides, if I'm being honest. You know, you only started playing a couple games. You got knocked out of the FA Cup early. You got knocked out of the League Cup early. Now you got knocked out of the Europa League that you expected to go through early.
I don't think a lot of his players played a lot of minutes in the World Cup. Big factor.
Exactly.
It's big factor.
It's just sometimes, like, I'm not dissing Arsenal, like from any Arsenal fans. I
can't sit here and diss them when they are top of the Premier League, guys.
I'm allowed to criticize. If you're the best team in England, I mean the best league in the world,
big up all for the super chat. Win your games. Yeah, go ahead. Just he says, win your game. That's the mentality. Bounce back time. I want to talk about that Crystal Palace game as well.
Listen, everyone in here, smash the like button.
Smash the like.
I am out. Last thing I was going to say is, like, mentality is a massive thing, and having that belief again, like Arsenal, is very similar to when they played us in the cup and they didn't play that team. And I said at the time, and everyone downplayed it, that it helps to build your mentality the more games you win. Look, I will be completely honest with you. Anyone that thinks that Arsenal are gonna go and drop points against Palace, anyone that thinks this is gonna go into the league, I disagree. I don't think this impacts Arsenal in the league one little bit. But
you don't want to go into the break on a point drop though. 2 points drop.
You don't. But anyway, listen. Exactly, and all of that pendulum swing non-stop, man, and it's going to keep swinging. So anyway, listen, love to you both.
Hey,
and
better. Hey, better. All right, so night. See, for me with the Arsenal Palace thing, I'm gonna swing the roundabout for it, Mo. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a draw. It's like I've seen Arsenal bounce back, but I've seen them drop off as well. like just in performance. You just got 3-0. That would, if I'm a player, that would obviously piss me off. That would piss me off. And if they get the first goal, Palace, let's say they do, and I know they haven't scored, but
new
getting rid of a
manager
manager,
bounce, new
and
manager bounce.
it's not even a new manager bounce. It's a breath of fresh air, because clearly the players and Vieira weren't working together, and I think it was stupid of them to get rid of when you got Jordan Ayew and Edouard up front and all that bullshit. Arsenal should win this game like 3-4-0, but I can't see it being 3-4-0. I see it being a close game. I really am gonna say 1-1. Like, I think it's gonna be a 1-1 game. And then we'll see where we go from there. Why I see it for now is just that European game would, I'm just trying to think of from my perspective. I think Arteta will try to get them up for the game. I think Jesus will be absolute colossus in this. It will either be 1-1 or it'll be like a 3-0. You can go either way for me, and I just can't see it being a close.
I see Arsenal smashing Crystal Palace.
See, this is what
like Fulham, you know what I mean? Like, we expected Fulham to put at least a fight.
Yeah.
They didn't. You remember the game? They didn't put in a fight at all. I'm expecting Arsenal to smash Crystal Palace, especially if they get a goal early. This is gonna be done. This is gonna be over and done, to be honest. And 8 points. I want to talk about the consequences of this game if Arsenal win it, and the consequences of this game if Arsenal don't win the game. If they win it, 8 points ahead of Man City, and Man City, they come back and they play Liverpool. Liverpool are going to be hungry. Liverpool are going to want points. Liverpool are going to play deep. Liverpool are going to make it hard for Man City. Pressure on Man City players. Also, the players are going to be thinking about the Champions League. Bayern Munich. Guardiola is one of the best managers, but mentally, can you get these players out of the Bayern Munich clash that is happening in 1 week after the international break? And that's going to be the problem. There is going to be 8 points. You know how it is. When you play, when you're 8 points ahead, it doesn't matter if it's a game in hand or not.
It's 8 points, 8 points, isn't it?
Exactly. 8 points are 8 points.
It's a lot thing. This could really make I don't really want to. I can't really put it within me to say, this is another test for Arsenal, but unfortunately, it really is. This game is
bounce back
so
time,
much.
huh? Bounce back time.
You need your bounce back too. If you do drop points or don't get that goal, and you don't get the goal quick and early, it's gonna creep into the minds, right? So that's what I'm saying, and they need to do this because this could really set them. This could be their set in stone. You know.
I asked that question.
So I can see them either smashing them or Palace is really
making it tough, like Everton and Man City, right? Like Everton and Man City, it could have been smashing. Man City could have smashed Everton.
It's me building hope, Mo. This is me building hope and hoping this happens because I want it to be more tight knit. And the fans have just pissed me off. You can't come at me, by the way, Martin, and say, we're like this amount of points. You're meant to be that much points above us. We're gonna win 3 cups this season. How about that? And I'll take that third spot too.
Yeah, let me segue to that question. If Arsenal don't win the league, they're out of all the cups, they're out of the Europa League. Hold on. Wait for the next second part of the question. And Arsenal fans, if Spurs make top 4, who had a better season?
It's the same season. It's like if Liverpool make the same season, if Liverpool end up finishing 4th or Tottenham, and they haven't, and both clubs then won nothing, they both got Champions League. That's exactly the same season. Except one was glorified. What's the difference?
Yeah, thanks Rams for the comment.
This is what I'm saying. You can't glorify it. You have to win a cup. You have to win a cup.
I hear that we push City, and I'm gonna say that.
Yeah, but that's nice. But Liverpool also were the best number 2 ever.
Second place only is remembered when you make it 5, 6. Like Liverpool will be remembered for second place.
Being the greatest number 2 ever.
Exactly. Arsenal. I grew up. And you as well, you grew up in Arsenal being the second team to Man United, the team that puts a lot of pressure. But you win it once or twice and you will be remembered forever. The Arsene Wenger team is going to be remembered forever. Even though they haven't won as many titles as Man United. And not even close, right? And the era between 95 and 2005. Not even close. Only 2 titles.
Arsenal need this Premier League. If they want to think remotely of coming back to being a great force again, like back in the early 2000s or the late 90s, they need to win this Premier League for the players and for people they can attract and probably for the manager himself. You get what I mean? If they do this, then next season, they probably might even go into it as neck and neck favourites with Pep Guardiola if he upgrades his team.
All telling you,
and a lot more.
You are winning
and for
the
fans, whatever. The fans need it as well. They've been waiting for this for ages because it will go back to being Arteta out stuff, Arteta bullshit. The fan base will become split, and all this stuff will just be going on again. But if Arsenal do win, you could just say, yeah, they're back there. They're a force again. What can you say?
Yeah, guys, 220 people here. Please make sure to hit that like button for us. We're not even on 100 likes. It's embarrassing, guys. It's embarrassing. But let's go and continue with Chelsea. I don't know. People say I like Chelsea now. For some reason, I don't like Chelsea at all.
No, because you know when it's what it is, Mo. Yeah, when a team is so shit and have been so shit, yeah, you just end up growing a soft spot for them.
Underdog story. It's
the underdog story. See, if we got any Chelsea fans in here, Mo will tell you, yeah, I've been a firm backer of Chelsea. I'm a believer. I'm more of a believer in Chelsea than some of the fans of Graham Potter. Now imagine they go and win on the weekend now, yeah, against Everton at their ground. I swear they go within 2 points of Liverpool.
Yeah.
And they got Liverpool soon at Chelsea as well. And then what conversation are we gonna have there? The top 4 potential question. What if Southampton go and do a win against Spurs and Chelsea get a win? I don't Tottenham also have to play Man United and quite a few others. It's another sticky conversation to have again, and it's all back in the mix. It's all back in the mix. This is what. See, I think they beat Everton. I don't believe in Sean Dyche going to Chelsea, Stamford Bridge, and making it tough. I don't believe they get a goal either. I think Chelsea
Jack
beat them like 2-0.
Napier, don't lie.
Yeah.
Don't lie on the chat. I never said that.
There's no point even. There's no point, Mo. Just ignore it.
Just don't lie on the chat because people believe the shit. So don't lie. Anyway, Chelsea, who are they playing? Oof, what a game.
You got Everton.
A game. What a game we're gonna see. I think I see a draw. I don't believe in Chelsea still. I don't believe in Chelsea.
I believe in Chelsea.
Because they won a game?
No, it's because they've won like 4 or 5 on the bounce now. The last few games, they've had clean sheets as well, bear in mind. On top of that. I'm starting to see the patterns become in again. Reece James and Chilwell's looking fit again. They're going to go to the England squad and get even more fit, which is their crucial points. They're free at the back. I think Thiago Silva should be near enough back as well. Their leader, Enzo Fernandez. You can see what they're doing. You can see that front three. Havertz is somehow coming into play with João Felix and is linking up quite well. And then they got the outlet out on the right hand side, whether it's Sterling or whoever. I don't know if Sterling's going to be available. I don't know if he's available this weekend. But they're at Chelsea, and this is Everton.
They have Chilwell and Reece James available.
Everton at home. Okay, cool. I'll be like, I don't know. But Chelsea typically do well against Everton.
They do. But
they do, and I
Chelsea
think
win the
They
game.
win this.
Chelsea,
I think
Chelsea win the game.
2-0.
Chelsea win the game. They will be 8th with Brentford. But their goal difference is 1.
I don't care about that.
The goal difference is you don't because your club doesn't have a good goal difference.
No, because it goes to show. It goes to show. Like, look at Liverpool's goal difference in 2-3 games. They got like 20 goals. Like, and
and this
it doesn't really show. It doesn't really show what they're really doing.
The 7th and all these 6s. But Brighton, people are sleeping on Brighton.
Yeah, I know. I've been saying them too.
Fucking sleeping on Brighton. They win, they win. Like Brighton.
They just won as well, didn't they? 1-0 against somebody.
Yeah, they did.
Who was it? It was against Southampton.
Palace. 1-0 against Palace. They
just played again.
Yeah. They played again. Yeah. Wednesday, bro. There was Wednesday.
Isn't it?
Yeah. No. Crystal Palace. That's Brentford played against Southampton.
Oh, Brentford played against Palace.
Brentford.
Yeah.
That record of Lavia that you talked about before.
I can't believe that. See, this is what I'm saying about the consistency. If anyone hasn't watched it, by the way, anyone go watch some replays and stuff like that. Go watch the Lavia tackle, and tell me why that wasn't a red card, but the Casemiro's one was.
Yeah.
Agendas must agenda, right?
Yeah,
I understand it.
Mo, Alex, you're an Inter fan. Alex says we just saw the draw. We got possible final. Route to the final. I get it. It's anybody's game at that side, and it's anybody's game on the other side. People are sleeping on Chelsea. I want to talk about Chelsea before we move on. Chances of winning the Champions League again, doing the Di Mattias, doing the Thomas Tuchel.
It's going to be a hard task, though, man. I'm not being funny. Look, you got Bayern Munich, Man City, and Real Madrid.
But they did it before.
2 out of 3 possible outcomes. Yeah. look, they're not the favourites in any of that section. They can do it. It's a knockout stage. I mean, I was wrong before when they won it recently as well. If they come and click, potentially, but I just can't see it happening, man. Chelsea and Man City this season have had their number.
Yeah, but they don't play Man City until the semi-final, and it's everybody's game at that time. You remember last year, Man City were way better than Real Madrid.
I hear it about Haaland in Champions League.
Better.
Champions League Haaland is an absolute robot. He's a Nordic meat shield. He don't stop.
He said he loves his this competition. He says that he drives the car playing the competition's anthem in his car.
He's a liar, man. No, he don't.
He said that in an interview.
No, I don't believe him. He's just acting, man. Play acting.
Since the Salzburg day, he loved it. He loved it, and I'm sure he loves it. It's why he lives for. I think Haaland is the factor of Man City winning the Champions League. But I'm not. Listen, at this stage, people talk about Inter and stuff. A lot of people in the chat is saying Inter. We are not favorites. We are probably Benfica are favorites because Benfica play better football than us now. Benfica humbled PSG. Benfica humbled Juventus. Benfica humbled everybody they played until this moment in the Champions League. Top of the league in the Portuguese league. They let go of Enzo Fernandez and they still play the same football. People are sleeping on Benfica, to be honest, just because they play in the Portuguese league. Just because of that. It's one of the reasons you're sleeping on Benfica. But I'm remembering Porto in 2004. People were sleeping on him, and they had a great team under Mourinho. You can't just say, I'm watching Benfica this year, and they are absolutely fantastic. So we're not favorites. Inter and Benfica. If we go through, to be honest, it's because they're going to be a hard work, not because we have a better team. We don't have better players. They do have better players.
The games are exciting to watch. I can't lie. Now this Champions League's kind of just on a par now. It's just like all the games sporting Juventus, even in Europa League, Man United, Sevilla, like just like the games are just. It's about time. I need some good quality games.
That's not true, That's not true. They only had 3 minutes. They hit the post in the 95th minute. That's it. But during the game, there was nothing for them. But anyway, let's move to another thing before we end this.
Well, Tottenham, what do you believe? Just a quick segment. I don't want to talk about Tottenham for long. Do you believe in Tottenham beating Southampton? Because I don't.
I never believe in Tottenham beating anybody. Nobody.
Yeah.
They're very inconsistent. Thank you, Wolves, for being a member for 3 months. Cass, Sevilla chasing 7th. Europa League title. Sevilla are shit this year. They're 13th.
Shit.
Guys,
they just lost to Fenerbahce. What they struggled against Fenerbahce.
No. They lost 6 to Atletico Madrid. Who gets Atletico Madrid to score 6 goals against you? 6. Atletico Madrid barely scored 1. They scored 6 against them. It's ridiculous. Like that.
Exactly.
Spurs, though. The problem for me is that
I'm an
Antonio Conte believer. In terms of one game a week, he really can prepare his team very, very well. But again, 48 points, 2 points behind Man United. Yes, Man United have a game in hand. However, I still think that if I'm going to pick a team to make top 4 out of these teams, because of Liverpool run, because of Liverpool playing Chelsea, Arsenal, and Man City, I'll pick Spurs. Unless Newcastle smash Forest today. If Newcastle go back on the wheel and the wheel is going, and
I actually believe Forest are going to do a thing against Newcastle. Apparently, no Almiron, by the way.
No, Almiron is Shalmiron.
Don't underestimate Nottingham Forest at home. This is a Friday, and it's under.
They have been great this year. They have been great this year. They weren't
even in the second half. They weren't even that bad against Tottenham. If I'm being honest, they weren't bad.
Yes, they are going on a bad run. They were in a bad run, but before that, they were actually in a very, very. They collected points, guys. They're 14th in the league. I believe that, to be honest, they can make it happen. They can actually. Thank you, V. Thank you, V, for the comment. The great show, guys. Thank you, V, for the comment. I believe Tottenham can make top 4, and if the Tottenham make top 4, I think this is overachieving with the squad they have.
Potentially, yeah.
Harry Kane is linked today with Real Madrid. Just to put this out there, people. Just to put this out there.
And today Man United got linked with Pellegrini again.
Yeah. So
please, Lavia, sorry.
Paul Scholes.
Pellegrini and Lavia, please. Southampton get relegated.
Not Lavia.
No, we were linked to the Lavia today. Apparently, he's had
Pellegrini and Casemiro, and you're cooking.
I need Lavia. Oh, no, I need no, but because Lavia will be cheaper, but Palhinha is Palhinha. I need it. I want
By
it.
the
I think
way,
I deserve
Paul
it.
Scholes said today that he urges Manchester United to buy Lautaro Martinez instead of what's his name?
Fuck what Paul
Osimhen.
Scholes says, man. I'm trying to hear that guy's talent ID, man. I can't lie. I don't like Paul
He
Scholes'
has no
talent
idea what
ID
he's
in a way.
talking about.
Him, Rio Ferdinand, all that. All, when it comes to actual ID talent, I don't believe in them whatsoever.
They're not scouts. They don't know.
I'll be honest. I think Lavia goes to Chelsea. I think that's very, very ideal for him. I think it's perfect settings for him. But I can also see Palhinha going to Chelsea and being cool. You don't even have to move. You're settled. You can stay in the same place. You know, but it'll cost like 50 million. And I think just go do it. Just go do it. If he's there, offer. You have to. A player like that was offered there for 18 million.
Man City are gonna buy him.
Liverpool, they got a buyback clause on him.
Yeah.
But the only way they're going to get him if they end up getting rid of Calvin Phillips.
I think Calvin Phillips leaves this year.
I think he does. I also think he leaves. I think that relationship's kind of dead, and I think it might show if he doesn't play against Burnley or start. It says everything about his career.
He's gonna start. But
I want Agate again. Another one. I want Agate. He's 21, sporting. He probably costs around 40.
Gas wants everybody.
I need. No, because see him. He's a DM/centre mid, and if there's anything that Man United need is someone that is robust, agile. He's got everything you want in a DM. He is Premier League bound one way or another.
Yeah.
If I see Liverpool get any good DMs, I'll be pissed anyways, regardless. So I love the guy. Honestly, I'm so sold on that guy, man. Also, there's a touch like obviously, have you seen that with the Altani when I was saying that thing? They were saying that they're gonna pretty much pay up to this close to the 6 billion. They're gonna make the offer. Before they weren't convinced, and then now apparently they're more than convinced that the Glazers want to sell and will be basically going all out.
So 6 billion. That's
under 5.5, 5.6. I said this months ago, by the way. They're gonna have to offer that. 5 billion is not gonna be enough. They'll call the bluff, but they'll definitely put down more. Because that's the way business tactics work. I'm over the moon. Hopefully it sticks to it, because I don't think Jim Ratcliffe is getting this club. No chance.
So Qatari owners, Saudi owners, and Emirati owners, I don't think anybody can compete. No one.
Nope.
No one.
Not a chance.
No one will compete with these three teams.
Kawadio Kone, I love that guy too.
Yeah, nobody will compete. Also, you like Kudus as well. You want Kudus.
No, I don't. Not anymore.
Not anymore. In the season,
you know what I'm kind of clocking? I like Kudus, but like there's James. I thought Newcastle would have got him, but James Maddison is available for cheap in the summer.
Oh,
I want
to replace
James Maddison.
Bruno.
No, it'd be like a swap, like in the squad, innit? Like
James Maddison is a starter, bro.
Yeah, he's a starter, but if you're coming to a team, you need to believe that you're better than the player in front of you. So you need to work against Bruno. Why you should start?
He is better than Bruno in my eyes.
This is what I'm saying. I think we should be going for James Maddison, English player as well. Like and he's cheap. You don't get that. Them sort of players don't come around on a cheap very often. He's got 1 year left on his contract. Go buy him. You can go get yourself a Maddison, a DM, and go get a proper centre mid, and you still haven't spent 100 million.
I believe that Maddison is going to go to Newcastle still.
I don't know, man. We'll have to see in it. He's got 1 year left. I'm really even Arsenal. I think Arsenal might be all over him. They might look at Fabio Vieira and just say you haven't worked out. Might put him one thing and go get Maddison themselves.
Yeah.
I think he likes Arsenal as well. So
anything else?
Nah, man. It's not really else to go on really. Other than I think we covered all. Liverpool ain't got a game this weekend, so
no. On vacation already.
Yeah, on vacation because they're gonna need it when they go to the Etihad.
Yes. But people, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure to hit that like button. There's at least 70 of you that haven't hit that like button yet for us. So make sure to hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Put the notification bell on to know when we go live. Tomorrow, the main show is going to be the extra time debate, 9:45. Before that, we have some reactions for you. Reactions for you. For Spurs or something?
Spurs, and then maybe Chelsea and Man City together.
Maybe Chelsea and Man City together. Hopefully there's an upset. But thank you everybody for being here with us. We really appreciate you, and hopefully we'll see you guys soon. Make sure to like the video, turn on the notification bell for us, and hopefully we'll see you guys soon.